Okay, here we are. Let's begin. That part is all set. Okay, got it. All right, everybody, and a very warm welcome to everybody who has joined today. And after a long time, we get to do a webinar on a funny topic, and the topic is I. So I have to first kind of run you through the background of this. And today it's really not going to be so much of, something that I'm going to tell you about. I'm actually only going to share with you some of the downloads that I received in my dream. And, many of you also have the same experiences that when we are in the frequency of answers, the answers come to us in so many different ways, and especially they come to us when we are not too much engaged. So in the sleep, many of us will receive answers, and that would be by the way of lucid dreaming. You're part of the dream, but you already know what's happening. And so something like this happened to me when I was in Canada recently, and I was, the whole day was really, really beautiful. But by the time the night came, I was exhausted. I was really tired. I had walked a lot. I'm not used to walking, as many of you know. So I had walked a lot, and then I was really exhausted. And then when I'm normally in that way, I tell money, take me to another space of consciousness so that my body over here can rest, but I can go to another place where I exist as somebody else and my consciousness is over there. And when that happens, immediately I will fall off to sleep, because immediately my consciousness is out from this body. This body does its resting, and my consciousness goes and plays somewhere else, who knows where, but wherever it exists in so many different forms. But then that gives me a full night of restful sleep, and I don't get disturbed because there is no consciousness of this body. I have many a times also suggested this to others as well. And so when your body is hurting, you can actually pretty much do that. But as I was, doing wherever, I was doing the astral travels or whatever. And then I started to get this download from money, the understanding of the I itself. And so, I just wanted to share a little part of the dream. Knowing how blank I am these days, I have actually forgotten most of it. And so I sat down about 4 days ago and I asked Money, okay, Money, please remind me whatever it is that I was needed to kind of, convey to all of you. And so I sat down and made some notes. But again, today itself, I'm asking money only, please speak so that we kind of get back to that place. So the first thing that I remember, or at least recall, that the dream was going on, and I was asked this question: who are you? When you say I, who is that I? So we started having this dialogue, I'm in my dream, but I'm having this dialogue. And I said, I am this body and I am this energy. And Mani said, no, but figure out which of those. When you say a sentence like, I am eating, okay, now who is eating? Who is eating? Who is the I that is eating? If you think about it, there is a food in front of you, there's a plate of food in front of you. And then when you look at the food, there are the eyes that are looking at the food. There is then the brain that sends the signal to the hand to pick up some part of the food. And then the hand and mouth coordinate while the eyes are looking on and the brain is sending the signal. And as that happens, you say, you are eating. So I am eating. Who is the I? Are you just the brain, the eyes, the hand, the mouth? Are you just this? Who is the I? Now that got me, even in my sleep, it got me thinking, and I started to form many different sentences, so I am doing this, or I'm going there. And right now, I would urge you, at least urge some of you, whoever wants to think about a sentence, think about the sentence and Look at it and give it to me. And let's dissect the sentence. Like, let's look at the sentence a little bit more carefully. So make any sentence which starts with I. So let's talk to Deepika Choksi. Deepika, make a sentence with I. Anything, any sentence at all. Unmute, please. Okay, Deepika is not able to unmute. Let's talk to somebody else. Let's talk to Abhilasha. Abhilasha, make a sentence with I.
I am dancing.
Okay, I am dancing. So there you go again. As soon as we look at somebody as I am dancing, who is the I that is dancing? The dance is happening with the feet. The brain is giving, and the hands, and with you, of course, with the waist and the kamar and everything as well. But who is the I in this place? All of these are being coordinated by the brain. Yes, truly. And then all of the signals are going to various parts of this body. And then you say, I am dancing. But whatever you are not engaging in, if you are dancing, there are some parts of you which are not engaged. Your mouth is not engaged in eating or something. Then is that still part of the I, or is it not part of the I? So any sentence that you take, and especially if you take it about something that you are doing, then it will be about different body parts collecting together, and collectively you call that the I. So it almost seems like, at least that is how it seemed like to me in the first instance, it almost seems like that there are different body parts that are doing the job that needs to be done, and I is something that takes the credit. So I was just looking at that and I said, who is this I that is taking the credit of whatever is happening through this collective of cells that we call the body? The body is performing some functions, and then all that we do is, after we are done with that person, I says, oh, I did this. I am the one who is doing that, takes credit of whatever is happening through different body parts. So that is the first thing that got me thinking. And then, of course, I said to myself, okay, what if I define myself in a particular role? So I am a mother. I am the CEO of the company. If you look at that kind of I, again, when you look at that I am the CEO. Now, are you the CEO in the now? Even if you were made the CEO just 1 minute ago, that now was a 1 minute ago. And you probably are saying to yourself a minute later, oh, I am the CEO. So what was happening has already happened. But now you are sitting today and saying, I am the CEO of the company, or I am the mother. Did you become the mother just now? No, you became the mother in the moment. You probably weren't even, enough conscious to recognize that, yeah, this is the moment that I'm becoming the mother. But you became the mother at some point in time, and now you define yourself as, I am the mother. And this is when I truly understood. So exploring I in so many different ways. And this is when I truly understood, when we say, oh, I is the one that never lives in the now. It's always living either in the past or in the future. So when I say I am the mother, I'm actually referring to something that's not happening right now. I didn't get conferred with that title right now. It happened at some time, and now is my recognition of whatever happened. So I am the mother, I am the CEO. It's not happening in the now. It's something that happened earlier. Or I am going to be, well, I'm going to be something, that's obviously something in the future. But in the now, in this breath, what are you? If I ask you what you are, in the first moment, probably you will go through a blank. That what are you, that identity crisis, because it'll take you a moment of your brain to engage and then to figure out the many roles that you are in this body in the now. And so, unless the brain engages, and again over there, the brain is engaging, the mouth is giving the answer, and then you say, I am this, I am that, because the brain is bringing back to you all of those memories of everything that you have been. And that makes you define yourself as who you are in this moment. Not this moment, actually, it's the moment of the past. But that's how, but that's how the I comes to it. Okay, now we have, it isn't I am a mother even in the now. The I am the mother. When, what is a mother? Who is a mother? A mother is somebody who gives birth, and then you give it the name of the mother. The moment of birthing would be actually the moment you were the mother. And then that is it, that moment of, are you birthing every moment? Till the time you gave birth, were you a mother? Did you keep saying to yourself, you're the mother? Till you defined yourself in that role, were you that? So the defining of the role itself, it engages the brain. It engages you looking at a few things. If you're simply going around, if you're going around and walking at a place right now, are you a mother? You are simply walking. If you look at yourself and you don't tie yourself to the role, and that is why we will come to that later, but the action that makes you the mother, that action happened when you birthed, or when something happened that somebody, recognized that moment in you. But before that or after that, if I look at myself, I never became the mother. It was simply a title that was first given to me by somebody in a moment. When they gave me that title, I didn't even associate myself with the title. So, did I become a mother then, or did I not become a mother then? I didn't become a mother then. Only when I associated with the title. And when did that happen? When five people called me a mother, and then I engaged my brains into it and said, okay, oh, this is my role. Oh, this is what I am now to so many people. And okay, fine. So I am the mother. In this moment, as I work through everything every day, do I remind myself I'm the mother, I'm the mother? It's only a remembrance when somebody calls me that name and I'm reminded that, oh, okay, I am the mother. But it is, who am I? I am talking to myself as to who am I in every moment? What am I in every moment? And most of the times, the answer that kept coming through to me is that this I seems to be a recording device. It is recording things that are happening to the body. It is recording things that are happening in the past and presenting them to me. And that's all seems to be the work of the I. Think of a few more sentences and let's dissect that to think about how, anybody who wants to kind of look at a sentence and wants to be able to look at it, think of it, write it down, and we will look at it for, from the sake of observing who the I is. So when I was actually in my sleep, when I was having this dialogue, and then Mani kept pointing out to me, saying that this I that you talk about, where is it sitting? Is it just this collective of cells? If this is the collective of cells that you keep referring to, the collective of cells that is the body that you keep referring to as the I, that body is functioning pretty much all by itself. You don't really have to engage in every function. The hand goes out, picks up the food, and it happens automatically that if you want to eat, this will happen. Now, when I say I want to eat, what is this? What is the I in this moment? So, how about I have a headache? Yes, Megha is coming to the point that I'm going to bring you to later, the larger mind. But right now, Ranjana says, I have a headache. I have a head and I have an ache in it. The moment that you say, I have a headache, who is the I? Are you the head, the one that is having the ache? Are you the only thing? Is that only all that you are? You are the head that you are having the ache with. I have a headache. So the head and the ache belong to some I, but who is that I? Where is that I? Which part of you is having that headache? The head is having the ache. And you are not just the head, you're not just the ache, but where does that I exist? Okay, somebody is unmuted still, so I'm going to, maybe it's when I asked you guys to unmute. Let me see who is unmuted. Radha is unmuted. Okay, all right. Yes. So who you identify as that? So the next thing that I was kind of made to understand was that I is simply a figment of grammar. We created that I in grammar, and that grammar, that grammar piece, that I am this, I am that. Otherwise, if we didn't have I in the vocabulary, it would just be the head is hurting. The head is hurting. There is no I. There is no I in that space. There is no I over there. But when you want to pinpoint to the I, who is the I, you will be able to see that the work belongs somewhere else. Something else is happening, and I am taking the credit. So I'm taking the credit for, okay, I have a headache. Actually, the head is hurting, but I say, no, I have a headache. I'm the one that takes the credit for whatever is happening. I am eating. I have a headache. I am eating is a separate, separate function of so many different body parts. I have a headache seems to also be a function of a particular body part. And then you can't define who you are in that body part. For example, when I was getting the dream, I was saying that, my legs are hurting, my back is hurting, and then so I have pain. And then Mani said to me, who is this I that has the pain? Your legs are hurting, your feet are hurting, your hands are hurting, your back is hurting. Those are different body parts of yours that are hurting. Who is the I that has the pain? Where is this entire I? Is this all of the body that you're talking about? And yes, so the all of the body that we are talking about, the I takes the credit for everything that happens. I says it is all happening to me only. And from there, it gets hold of this belongs to me and that belongs to me. The belonging comes from the I. If I was to say the pain, the pain is in the legs are hurting, the legs are hurting. But the minute I say my legs are hurting, now I have that belonging. So the I is simply, at least in my dream, up till now, is existing in my imagination, because I can't put a finger to where that I is. As soon as I say, okay, my body is the I, really, is the body the full I? That's all that it is? No, we already know, when we talk about so much of the consciousness that there is, when we say, I'm not just the body, I'm not just the emotion, I'm not just the thought. But whenever even a thought comes to us, that thought which we claim as it is my thought, it is I that is thinking. Who is the I that is thinking? And if you want to put out a finger on it, keep looking at your sentences. Put down those sentences on the paper. After this webinar is done, it's going to be a short one. But when this is done, you look at every sentence, whatever your mind thinks of as I. And we use I in a day so many times. But when you look at it, it's always either it's about claiming something that is being done by a body part, or it is about simply registering whatever has happened. So staying in the past, staying in the future, and claiming for it to be the now, bringing all of that information that is already with us, and then bringing it to this moment to play in the now. But that moment doesn't belong to the now. It actually belongs sometime ago, sometime in the future. And the I is the only one that will keep trying to claim it in the now. So as we do these, okay, let's look at some more How about I am Meenal? Like you say, we are the moment we say it. Now, Megha is touching upon something that's called the larger mind, and that is what we were brought to later in the whole uh, in the whole process. Okay, so I am is the pure awareness where everything exists as a potential. Now we are coming to the larger I. So Gaurav writes, I am is the pure awareness where everything exists as a potential. Anything after that, anything added after that is a judgment to experience the separation. We are now coming to the second part of the dream, and I will take up that for later. I am studying, just for example. So, who is it that is studying? I am studying. It's the same as I am eating. There is a mind that is engaged, there's a brain that is engaged in looking at something, sending the signal to the eye. When the eye is registering something on the paper, then that all of it is going and registering itself in the brain so that you can remember it. But all of the work that is happening between a brain and the eye, and sometimes the hand is engaged to turn the piece of paper. So who is the eye that is studying? It comes to the same thing. Who is the I in it? The I is simply a part of the grammar that you say, I am studying, just so that you don't have to say the brain is engaged and and I can't even speak a sentence without the I. The brain is engaged, the eyes are looking, and studying is happening. So to make it all simplified, we use the word I, but I is the register which is registering this entire action that is happening through various body parts. So, in all of this, we are talking about mostly the body parts, which are the body that are doing something, and then I take the claim, I become the register for recording this, saying, okay, all of this is happening, but it is basically simply cannot be, the I is not being found separately, or sometimes the I is just simply claiming to be, in this case, when you are studying, it is simply claiming to be the brain and the I. That's all. But what about the rest of you? Is it still the I, even though it's not engaged in the studying part? And that's where the whole point is. Okay. When I say, I love you, who is the I? Yeah, you tell me, who is the I? That love, that emotion of love. So now you bring me to the second aspect of it. So till now, money, and by the way, so even before we move further, to let you know, because something that I experienced, just the very next day. And the whole point is I was looking at the eye and I was trying to dissect everything. And then very quickly, the whole point became clear. It is not, the idea is not to push away the eye. The I will never go away. It is a part of our vocabulary. It has been brought to us on planet Earth to experience this small I. The small I, where I say, I am this body and everything that this body does. So when you say, I love you, you are recording just only what you feel in the body. That emotion too, where are you feeling it in the body? But the only time, and now we move over to the bigger piece, the only time that you will actually be able to experience the I is when you say or when you speak about an emotion. So, I love you. For example, that I am angry. Now, you're in angry in the moment itself. The anger is the emotion that you can experience in the now, in this moment. But now we've already moved away from the body. We've moved away from the body and we are moving to a little bit larger piece of ourselves where we are talking about the emotion. Where is the emotion? What is the emotion? The energy. Whenever we are experiencing an emotion, now we are speaking in terms of the energy field that we are, the energy field that we are experiencing. And the minute we move to the energy, now that is the larger I. So even when you say, I am Meenal, you're actually not referring to this body. And I've pointed out that to you many a different times that you are not reaching out to this body. You are not taking something from this body, but you are taking energy from the source where I take energy from. This body takes energy from that frequency of abundance, that frequency of masti, and that's where you are taking energy from. When you take energy from that, it becomes this place of your energy. And I also always remind you, I am Meenal, not I am going to be Meenal. Because the minute you say, I am going to be Meenal, now you're playing in the future. Who is going to be Meenal? This body of yours that you think is going to be Meenal, that is where again you are back to the body self. So the I is the one who keeps registering. And now we will make the differentiation, the small I and the big I, the tiny I and the larger I. And when we're talking about the I, in the larger sense, it is always going to be referring to the energy field. And we know that we engage in energy field through our emotion. The emotion is our energy field, the frequency that we are playing at. As we are playing in the frequency of love, and I say, I love you, it's energy of love that is actually being exchanged between one and the other. And so coming to this place of who is the I? Who is the I? Now we've seen that an I is the body, and then the I can be the larger piece of energy. The I can be anything. And here is the most beautiful part. The I can be anything that you want it to be. No matter what you're thinking, no matter what you're doing, you are a particular I in that moment. From where? From your thought. Whatever is your thought, your I takes that shape, that form. And so it is your thought that is actually creating the I in every moment. Your thought about dancing, and then you are dancing, but there are body parts engaged in it, but you say, I am dancing. And it's your thought to claim all of those beautiful body parts of yours that are dancing. And that I becomes that little I that is dancing. And then when you move into the larger I, and then you say, I am the sun, I am the moon, I am the universe. And who are you in that moment? Well, that is exactly who you are in that moment. And so how beautifully I'm going to read out that answer that again Gaurav gave on the larger I. The larger mind, the larger I. So I am is the pure awareness where everything exists as a potential. Anything added after that is a judgment to experience the separation. So beautiful to come to that place of pure awareness. And when you stop at I am, and even when you say, I am the sun, I am the moon, even then you're actually limiting yourself to who you are. And so you stop at I am, because I am is whatever you can think and whatever you cannot even think. And now to bring all of this information back to how we exist on a day-to-day life. Just because now you know that I am, you are, that entire potential that there is, everything that there is, will you stop living, and will you stop living that life where it says, I am a doctor, I am this, and identifying? You won't. You won't, because you are here on this earth to experience your small I. So even to think that, oh, now 100% of the time, I am going to be living in this space of large I, and I'm only going to be experiencing that. And oh my God, why am I experiencing the small I? The small and the big are just simply two places to differentiate where you are thinking. Your thought process is right now connected to the body, or your thought process right now is connected to the entire energy, the universe, and beyond that you are. And that's all. Again, if I hold judgment to why am I just thinking the body again and again, you are now judging the I itself. And as you judge the I itself, anything that we judge, we are moving away from that place of I am. So constantly, so this is something that happened the very next day. Next day I woke up and I said, oh, this, I mentioned this to Sudhanshu, saying, oh, this is what I was told in my sleep last night, to even keep pondering more and more on who am I? What am I? What am I defining as I? And then, of course, the very next sentence, a few things later, I said, yeah, but I'm not doing this. And Sudhanshu told me, move away from that. And then the first words out of my mouth were, there is no judgment involved here. We're not moving away from that. We are not moving away from anything. We are not rejecting anything. We are not rejecting the small I. We are not rejecting the larger I. We are exploring all that I am. We are simply exploring. And this life, because it is on earth, because we are here, it cannot be that we can completely reject the small I. We've come to experience all judgments through this I. But when you are sitting in that place, if you become aware, when you become aware that I can be anything that you want it to be. We have been using this, I can be anything that you want it to be. We have been using it already in all the practices that we do. But why is this? Why was this even important for me? So I will come to the place now as to, then where did money take me next in the dream? Because I said, okay, I acknowledge that I had never thought of I as the recording device. I had never thought of I as simply being a register of all that is happening. And then for me to be able to, disassociate from that register, because I'm not just that register which is recording all that is happening in me, around me, in me, around me. I am much greater than that because I am every energy there is. I will play through the body. I will play in different energies at different times, but I am not even that energy alone. So I am anything that I want to be, anything I already am. If I want to be, again, how beautifully within the sentences we can notice that every part of grammar, that we use is focused on the I. And that is what instills the I in us. Constantly being in that space, in those roles, is what keeps deepening the experience of I for us. But the I doesn't exist except for where you put your awareness at. Wherever you are putting your awareness, I am dancing. You might be putting your awareness on those little steps that are happening. But the whole of you, the whole of the body that is performing all of those other functions, that entire subconscious that you are, that you don't even see in any moment, you're not even describing that. You are simply focusing on one tiny little action that your body is doing right now, and you call that the I. But there is this whole large part of your body which is going through a heartbeat, breath, all of the other body systems are functioning without you even knowing, and all of that is happening. Also, that is the I, but you're not thinking about it, but it is part of the I if you make it just slightly little bit larger. But you don't record that. You only record tiny, tiny pieces through your observation, through your awareness. So when the awareness is only that I am the body, then you are operating from the smaller I. And when the awareness is I am the universe and beyond and everything, then I am. And then you're operating from the larger space that you are. You will operate from both of them, and you will get experiences of this and of that. Not to be judging either this experience or that experience, because both of them, no matter how much we love the larger I, but both of them are simply experiences. Though the larger I gives us different kinds of experiences, and so through our awareness, when I put my eye on the awareness, I can experience the larger I. It is still me, I, that is putting the awareness on the larger piece. So that observer needs a body at times, even to observe the awareness. All of this might be looking a little bit, a little bit too much of conversation in grammar. But when you go through this webinar again and again, the energy of the vastness that you are will come to you. It's all about the vastness that we are, that we can experience when we come to the larger I. And it is all about the minuteness, the minutest of things that we are, that we can experience and we have been experiencing through when we think of the body as being the only I. And so now moving forward, so Mani said to me, okay, if I is only the register, and if you remove the I from, because I had been, I had gone into that space saying, I am hurting. I am the one having the pain. And so Mani, take me away to some other place where I am not having this pain. And then Mani said, so what is it that you are moving from here to another place? You're actually moving that I itself from this consciousness to another consciousness where that you is not having the pain. And so I said, okay, so what is it that I need to understand about this? And he said, every part of your body is what you are terming as I. Remove the I from it. And then what happens? The entire body is already functioning. Every cell in your body, absolutely every cell in your body is intelligent. And together, this cumulatively intelligent body is what you keep calling as I every now and then. And then the thought comes to you that I should be good to this part of the body, and I have not been treating that part of the body well. And when that comes to you, you move your awareness to a tiny little part of your body through your thought. And then, oh, I haven't been eating well, so my body is going to suffer. And now you put your awareness on which part of your body. My body is going to suffer. Oh, if I've eaten this, my stomach is going to suffer. If I've eaten that, or if I'm drinking that, then my liver is going to suffer. If I'm smoking this, my lungs are going to suffer. And so you put your imagination, your awareness, both of them pretty much the same word, you put your imagination onto your liver as to how it is going to suffer. You put your imagination to whatever is going to get the pain, and then it comes up with that pain. But it is through your awareness of that tiny little part of what you are defining yourself in that moment as the small I. The entire body is completely intelligent because it is a collective of cells that has come together. The cells have created that body to help you with the experiences of this body, to help you with the experiences of this tiny little form that you have taken this time. It is all of the cells that have come together, and they are way more intelligent than when you define yourself as a tiny little part of that entire collective. So even when you say, I have a headache, you have defined yourself as a tiny little part of the entire collective that is already functioning in its perfection. And then you put your mind to it and you want to function in a certain way because you are getting thoughts. What thoughts are you getting? You're getting the thoughts from your energy, your larger I. That energy that you are in this moment is giving you these thoughts, and you are applying that larger I to the smaller I to experience your minuteness. Total bheja fry, isn't it? So As always, anything that comes with this knowledge is always bheja fry. But here is where the application is. So Mani said to me, let the body function on its own through its collective, beautiful energy of every cell, knowing how to tap into the universal frequency. Every cell of yours knows. At the center of every cell is a nucleus. In the nucleus, there is your essence. And what is the essence in every nucleus? The essence in every single nucleus of yours is love. Love the unconditional, love the being, the I am kind of love. The I am that knows, the knowing that every cell contains, that knowing itself is what we define as love. It is the knowing of your own inner self. And that knowing that exists in each cell of ours. Isn't that beautiful that all the cells of ours already have the knowing of what they have to do, how they have to perform? They are not seeking any other outside, any other outside force to constantly tell them, because that intelligence, that knowing already exists within them. And so you remove the I. That is, you think you're trying to do better by, oh, my legs have to be better this way, my liver would be better that way. You think that you are trying to do better, but those thoughts are coming from an energy that you hold. That energy field that you hold, that energy field still is a limitation right now to you, because all your thoughts are going to come from that one tiny little aspect of your energy field that you are in the moment. So if right now you're in the frequency of fear, in the body, that frequency of fear will see those thoughts. Those thoughts will be created from that energy, and that still is a limitation. And so in your sleep, when you're not engaging with even your energy, your own energy field, you're not engaging with that. Let the body engage to the vastness of the I am that you are. The vastness of all of that is there in every cell of yours. And that is what we term as love. And so when you tune into that love, just simply now put your awareness that each of my body parts, all of my body parts are simply coming to focus. All of them are focused. Each of the body parts, each of the cells of mine are simply focused on their own within. Each of my body parts, each of my cells, everything within me, this collective that I call the body, is only focused within itself. That means each cell is focused on its nucleus, on the knowing that exists within each cell. And as I started to do more and more of that in the body, in my sleep, in the body, I kept getting this mantra. And this is the mantra that I kept speaking. Every cell of mine holds its own intelligence that is connected to the universal intelligence. Every cell of mine holds its own intelligence, and that's connected to the universal intelligence that I am. To the universal intelligence that I am. Every cell of mine is connected. Every cell of mine knows healing. Every cell knows how to heal. And every cell is already healing from its own cell nucleus, from its own center within. Every cell is already healing with its own nucleus within. And as I moved with that mantra over and over again, I woke up in the morning with about 80% of my pain already released. 80% of my pain was already released just from the knowing, just from the healing property that every cell already holds. And so, what overrides these cells at most times is our engaging with a limited I, with a limited I that belongs to a certain frequency. In this place, even as I look at my energy field, I am one frequency at a time. And that too, only so that the body can operate from that space. And so, even letting go of what energy do I need to engage in? Nothing. You just need to simply clear your mind of the little I for a moment and allow each of your cells to operate as they would, because they already hold all the intelligence within that tiny little nucleus. Every cell already holding the knowing. And then through your awareness, the awareness you can put anywhere, and then you put your awareness only on accepting and allowing each of your cells. That's all. And your awareness in this moment, again, belonging to the body, but still coming from the larger space. I want to do this to my body. I want to do that to my body. No. I simply accept, I acknowledge that every cell in my body is beautifully focused within. I accept and I acknowledge and I allow. I allow every cell of mine to operate from wherever it wishes to operate. And you know that where will it go to? The cell already holds that universal intelligence, and it will go within to that nucleus to tap into that beautiful intelligence. Pragati says, I would love justice. That is the sentence that she came up with. I would love. Okay. That is coming from a place of lack. The energy that you would be playing in that moment to it would be lack. And justice. What is justice? There is nothing called justice. Now I come back to my usual gyan. There is nothing called justice and injustice. It's a play of everybody's frequencies, and the drama is getting created from everyone's frequencies that are engaged in that moment through their body. So, all of the frequencies around you, whatever their engagement is, we cannot. We cannot even fathom what all energies are at play, but what energies of yours are at play when you want justice. I want justice. Your energy that is at play is, it's a few. If I talk about this in just the body term, I want justice. Justice is an outside thing, and you want it. So you're living in the future. So that I that doesn't live in the present lives in the future, lives in the past. So that's the I that you're engaging in at the moment. But if I look at it from what, how we talk all the time about how to look at your frequency by asking, what am I feeling? Then you are feeling the lack of justice. If you are feeling the lack, that's the frequency that you would be engaged in this moment. Okay. All right. So everybody, as we look at just a second, let me mute everyone, because when I was asking Deepika to go mute, she wasn't mute, and now Deepika is unmuted. Okay, all right. So any questions about whatever, I know that when I speak in whatever the knowledge was received, most of it times it is all about bheja fry, because which I is she talking about? What is this? But again, just to engage that, okay, this is the knowledge that I received, through the knowing. This is the knowledge that I received through the knowing. And then all of that knowledge can be put to the side only to understand a few of those pointers that I am whoever I want it to be. It opens up the entire universe for you to engage into. I can be anything. I is everything. And so in this moment, I can be anything. And what will it be? It will be whatever your limited imagination takes you to. And so to open up that imagination even further, we simply, that is why we don't stop at I am this body or I am my emotion. We say, no, we are much larger than this, and then operate from the larger place. Operate from the larger place of I am the universe, I am the sun, I am the moon, I am the stars. I am. I am. I am not just this name, because I is the name that you identify with. Oh, yeah, I am Meenal. I am Deepika. I am Archana. Whatever names that you say, now you identified completely with this collective body of the cell. And now you are stuck to being this body of the cell. So taking your mind away from that, I am not just Archana. I am not just Meenal. Taking your mind away from the identity that you get so pinned on to. So walk away from that, because even that identity is making you experience the small I even more. So I am Meenal, but I'm not just Meenal. You understand that. You are every frequency there is, you are all the energy there is in the universe. And by taking just a tiny little name, even when you say, I am Meenal, what are you doing? When you say, I am Meenal, you're expanding. You're expanding from who you are to being Meenal as well. And I always remind you that don't be stuck to this frequency. I'm only Meenal. No, that's not what it is. I am not only Meenal. I am every frequency there is, and therein the choice to move to a frequency of your choice. You are you are everything there is, you are all that is. And so from that space, the choice to move in to one tiny part to be experienced through the body. You are experiencing the small I, but having tapped into the larger I. We will always keep experiencing the small I, and through our awareness, every now and then, we can take it to the longer, larger, bigger I. When we are in the body, this is what we came to experience. So if you are kind of now getting, oh my God, I'm against, why do I have to keep going to my smallness? The smallness is what we came to experience. But now, when we understand more and more through knowing, we can expand this smallness a little bit more, a little bit more. Larger I is the knower. Larger I is where I've put my awareness to. The awareness, the pure awareness, is simply the knowing. And when I, as an observer is needed. An observer is needed to observe, to become aware. And so that this collective, this thought, this energy is that aware observer. And then, even as you, in moments when you feel, when you are totally without even the thought of an observer, when you don't exist, there will be moments you will be able to experience the dissolution of even your existence. Then you don't exist, your name doesn't exist, and you are one. You are one. You're not even one with the universe, because you are the universe. You are one. And you will experience that in small parts. And that's your entire knowing. That's the full aware, no, the pure awareness there is. And then, of course, through the body, we take on some judgment or another. I have to keep reminding you. I have to keep reminding you to not get attached to the idea of I want to live only in the larger I, because many people who are on the spiritual path, they are seeking and looking for that larger expansion, and they keep rejecting their smaller I, that ego. So neither this nor the rejection and nor the attachment to it. The place that has to be is to be, when you're neither attached to your name and nor attached to only living as the one. You are you're in the process of experiences, and whatever experiences you are receiving, they have to be observed. They have to be observed through this body. This brain has to observe, these eyes have to look, and whatever observation has to happen on the outside will happen through that. The heart has to feel, and that would be your energy. The question, what am I feeling, also drops when I simply accept, allow, and flow. And complete awareness is akin to blankness, or no feeling, or all feelings together. Yes, this was mind blowing for me. Meenal is all that there is. That is how I always felt. Isn't that also true? That the small is complete in itself, the whole in the now. I don't even understand the meaning of complete anymore. Because complete itself is, what is complete and what is not. There is nothing called complete. There is nothing called incomplete. There is simply an experience of the now in the moment. So children are larger I, right? I don't know. I don't know, Darshan. Every child, every grown up, every adult, everyone is I. In one moment, are you being the larger I, or are you being the smaller I? Who will tell? Only your awareness. Only your awareness will tell you whether in this moment you are this or you are that. Because you asked, children are the larger I, but when we are looking at the energetic experience, are children not receiving every experience that you are receiving? Are they receiving anger? Are they receiving joy? Are they receiving everything that you are experiencing? The larger I, what in your eyes is the larger I? I just said the larger I is that every cell of yours is focused within. I don't know about a child, about an outside child. What makes you look at the children and not at yourself? Why is the finger pointed in this moment of understanding even the I? Why is the finger pointed at a child who is probably some million years old energy? So please bring the finger back with it. So no difference in the small and large I. Well, when we are looking at differences, there is. Because the small I is what we have thought of ourselves as being the full I in moments of not being aware. And when we become aware, when we already start to tune into the energy space, now we are no longer operating from I am this body, I am only this body. Otherwise, when we are operating from there, no matter what the energy is, that energy will play for us. If I think of myself as only the body, it doesn't mean I'm not the energy, but I don't have awareness that I'm not the energy. I'm still the whole energy that I am. It's purely about being aware that pure awareness is the larger I. The pure awareness of being the energy, being the one, that is the larger I. In my body, in this moment, when I'm aware of that larger I for myself, that is when I will be able to even make the intent that my every cell of mine already knows what to do. It contains the knowing. It has its knowing as its center. Every cell of mine is aware. Then who is not aware? The one that I describe as the I, the tiny little I that is putting my mind to this and to that and saying, oh, I need to do this and I need to do that. That is the one little tiny I that's not aware. Your body already is tuning into the larger I. And then you stop it through so many different ways, through your frequency, whatever your frequency at play is, one frequency at a time. Largely on earth, we came to experience fear. And so fear frequency of yours got experienced over millions of lives. And now that is your large energy field then. That is the one energy that you operate from. And that is how you will keep operating your body from that energy. Not letting the body operate from the larger I, but operating the body from your thought. And your thought is coming from a certain frequency. So when we are aware, small I, large I, everything is the same. And when we are not aware, then the differentiation exists. Everything is all centered on awareness. Okay. All right, people. I think we already received the lines for the meditation. And so, right now, in the next few minutes, I will not even speak. I am simply going to allow, all of us to go into that space and to be in that space where we know that every cell holds the knowing. And it is so beautiful when we think about it, because when we were born, whatever experiences want to be created, they were created from that space of knowing in the womb. Without any doctor's help, without figuring out what is good and what is bad, the body took whatever it wanted to take and it created itself without even referring to an outside doctor, and that's how it is. So beautiful that we have that knowing. Every cell of ours comes from that space. And then, because we have to experience all of these frequencies, that's the reason why we came to Earth. And so, because we came to experience all of this, and so we have to, oh, I need to do this for my body. I need to become that for myself. I need to do all of that. So now, in these next few moments, simply aligning into yourself, and yet not identifying. I am one. I am one. Every cell of mine holds the knowing. Every cell of mine is connected to the universal intelligence. Every cell of mine is centered on its own nucleus, love. I acknowledge the universal intelligence that my body holds. I allow. I accept. I, the body. I, not the body. I, the emotion. I, not the emotion. I, the thought. I, not the thought. I, the identity. I, not the identity. I, one. One, one, one. The observer, the one. And then Shunya, Shunya, Shunya. Om Mani, Om Mani, Om Mani. So just to end, I know this is end is already the that is spoken out, but when I had sat down and recorded uh, some of my experiences, and then of course I don't record, and some more answers began to come. So um, so I'm just going to read out some of the stuff that came. It's in bits and pieces. I was simply writing things and it came in bits and pieces. So I is the register, and mostly it's what we've already talked about. I is the register, the recording device. The I doesn't exist, except that we give a name to it. And then it exists as that name. So we give a name to ourselves, and then we exist as that name. That's why I is the identity given to a collective of cells that have come together to experience an energy field. When I say I am the sun, the moon, the universe, when we look at the body, we relate to that, and the I becomes that. When we look at the whole universe and we decide to expand that, then I becomes the whole universe. It expands because it is expandable. It is an imaginary construct and can be whatever your imagination wants it to be. When you tune into the frequencies of expansion, the frequencies of the heart, the I begins to expand to the universe. Now it taps into the universal consciousness, the intelligence, and then can become the larger I. The largest I am the creator of the universe. I is whoever you want it to be. But we have come to earth to experience our smallness. So we restrict I to the body. And then once that body is over, the role is over. In the universal intelligence, there is no I. I is the whole and nothing. Both are the same. It is only the observer in any moment who decides what the I will be. And that is all there is. So it is the observer in the moment, and when we are the observer, we decide in that moment who the I will be. Okay, everybody, thank you very much. Lots of love for joining.
Thank you.
Thank you
Bye
so much,
bye.
Neela.
Lots
Thank
of
you,
love.